I want to tell you a quick story, and I'm going to use this voice because I think I'll be able to express myself a little bit better if you could do with my bad accent. But I just met this man who's so dreamy. He's fair skinned, he's very dark, he's Mediterranean. Oh, I don't think I can do this very often. I don't screw the accent. Anyway, um, we just had my daughter had her wisdom teeth. She's in the other room. Had her wisdom teeth appointment, and the surgeon just came into the room, young, fit, like I said, Mediterranean complexion, short, curly black hair, very well kept. I mean, you could see like under his doctor's smock, the muscles, like just oh, he was built. And he just kind of sat down and he looked at. He said, "Good morning, ladies." Yeah. Um, and he talked to my daughter and he said, "Now, sweetheart, do you have any concerns?" And mom, do you have any concerns? Explain what he was going to do. And it was just so, I was like, if I had my mask on, my mouth would have been down. And I could understand why in the movies, they do it so over the top, kind of like, and I mean, this guy, um, I was attracted to his personality first. And I mean, he wasn't hard to look at. I'll put it to you that way. I didn't feel any sexual things with him, but the way that he treated me and my daughter as, I mean, obviously as a oral surgeon about to, doing a consult to get your wisdom teeth taken out, he's there to instill a, a sense of calm, to alleviate your anxiety. He's there to instill a sense of confidence because you definitely want a surgeon who knows what he's doing and is confident that he is going to do the right thing. But his demeanor, I mean, the way he carried his body language was kind, confidence, strength, charisma. Oh, just like I said, he didn't, stir anything in my loins, as it were, but I could see. And when we left the office, she was like, "He was hot," and I'm like, "Yeah, he was pretty hot, wasn't he?" And my daughter later in the conversation, we were talking about lunch, and she says, "Is there anything you wish for lunch, or anything you wish?" And I said, "Yeah, more estrogen in my body." Um, it's one of those things as we progress, and and I've said this before too, a very wise trans woman, girl, had this in her video like 10, 15 years ago, and she said, um, you know, something she wanted to convey about transitioning was that she said, the person that you are at the start of your transition may not be 100% the person that you are after your transition. Sorry, I got some dust on the top there. And, that's not to say a Jekyll and Hyde type thing, but I think as part of that initial, is transitioning something I want to do, we try to second guess ourselves. Number one, physically, am I going to be an ugly, in my case, and I'm not allowed to say that word, am I going to be a less than beautiful woman? Am I going to be, how are people going to, is anyone going to like me? Will I fit in? All those things. But we try to like guesstimate where we're going to be, and we say, well, I'm not attracted to men, or I'm not attracted to women. And my apologies for my non-binary friends. I'm not attracted to this or that. And we really don't know that, um, you know, unless we're really in touch with ourselves. I know I was not. I was raised in a society that was very anti-gay, and so maybe I would have said something like, "Oh well, yeah, I must be a lesbian because there's no way I could be attracted to a guy." You know, when truth be told, how are you going to know until you get in the sandbox what toys you like? You know what I mean? It's like you don't know what you want to do, but we try to like estimate or guesstimate. And you know, like I said, this guy this morning, he had charisma, he had just a lot of things, a very well-rounded package. And sorry, I didn't mean that as a sexual thing. Just all together, all the check marks. Um, so just food for thought. Don't assume what you might be, and you might know. You might, I mean, out of the box, you might say, "Well, I thought I was gay, and I'm straight," and then then you transition, and you know, you just don't know. And you know, I guess keep your options open might be the tidbit of advice. And again, what you might know, and I think I've mentioned this before about people who are in relationships. Um, you know, there's a bit of a danger of being stifled. If you are married to someone and you might, you kind of have to weigh, how much do I want to explore? Let's say you're in initially a man-woman relationship. I do know a couple of couples who have survived the transition, but the trans woman kind of has it in the back of their mind, like, well, I can't experiment with a man. I'm kind of settling, or I'm stuck in this relationship, and it kind of becomes somewhat of an issue. Like, okay, how much do I want to risk losing my current wife, my current spouse, because I want to go experiment and explore. And it can be somewhat of stifling. And obviously, if you're very lucky, you might have a spouse that says, you know what, I would rather you go and experiment and see what you like. And if it turns out that's not what you want, you know what you have with me. It's a very, very open and honest, you know, and rather than sit there and just wonder and oh, I'm so depressed, I'm so sad, find out and then come back and say, you know what, it's not everything I thought it was. The grass isn't always greener on the other side. Or you know what, it's the best thing I've ever had, and I'm sorry, but we need to break up. And spouse, I think we can be sometimes afraid of that, understandably, especially if you've built up years and years of a relationship and trust. Sorry, I'm still have dust up here. It's just the sunlight on the top of the thing. And then the other thing, the reality too, is what I've found. May just be for me is that uh, the probability of me finding a mate is very, very low. You know, Society is just not ready yet. Guys are not ready to see trans women as anything other than gay men at the moment. And that might change. That might change. You never know. They say there's many fish in the sea. Other cliche bullshit. So anyway, that's my video. Like I said, it was just kind of neat. I was so entranced with this guy, and he was treating me. You know, he was a gentleman. And I was the lady. I was the mom, obviously. But it was so neat. And I think my friend Brenda had something she had said once about she wanted to go on a date. I think we all do. I do. I don't know about you, but go on a date and be the lady with the gentleman. And I apologize for the binary assumption here. Just pulls out your chair for you and pushes it in and treats you somewhat with that. You know, I know as a male, the dating that I had done, I always tried to be a gentleman. I always tried to be, equality, but also a little bit of that, a little bit of extra finesse. Let's call it finesse, and not dominance, but but finesse. And that's something that I think I want to experience. I think I've said that I want to be wooed, WOO, wooed, courtship. I want to experience that. I've had one side of it. Now I want to experience the other side, if I get the opportunity. But today was just a neat. Like I said, it was like I couldn't believe, and part of me, uh, I had, when he had asked a question and I said yes, or I answered him. We were talking about, do you have any questions about the surgery? Do you understand? And I answered, and I answered in my voice. And I just had, for the first 10 seconds, I was like, man, I wish I had a more feminine sounding voice, much like my imaginary Irish woman voice that's up in my head. I wish I had that, because it might all be up in my head, but it was easier for me to connect and interface with those emotions if I was somewhat in that stereotypical launching point. And I wonder, number one, am I full of shit? I probably am. But, obviously I have kept, um, I have taken professional voice classes, and I did hire a professional voice coach. And I did pursue that, for a bit, and I still had a lot of work to do. Um, and it wasn't the bad videos that are at the start of this channel. And I liked it, but I like the range that my voice has right now, especially when I play Dungeons and Dragons or I DM. I like having the ability to have resonance in my voice, and to, you know what I mean, to use intonation and resonance. And I think if I had raised my voice up and come out of that space, um, that's a part of me that I like, is having that range. I like being a mimic. Usually, if I can hear someone, I can mimic them pretty well, given a little bit of practice. And I like that. I like that. And I don't want to give that up. Now, there might come a day where I'm like, you know what? It's time for Mrs. Mulroy or whomever, the Irish lady, to take over, and I dig into those voice lessons, and I find, I only have to raise my voice by like 60 hertz. I think I'm coming in at a G or an F right now. I only have to go up to D and kill the resonance, and it would come across very naturally, and work on my breathing and everything. Um, and maybe I will do that, when the D&D is over. But I've been playing D&D since I was in fourth grade. I've been playing D&D for a good 40 years, and I don't see myself stopping anytime soon. So on that note, yeah, like I said, I don't hate my voice. It's just like today when he's like, and so, mother, do you have any questions? And I was like, no, I don't. I was like, fuck, if I, oh, no, I don't have any questions. If I could do that, I don't know. Hmm. Interesting. Interesting. When you think you have this whole thing figured out, something comes along to show, there's still an opportunity for growth and development, and to figure out what you want to do. And that's something that just, I guess it's lifelong. As soon as we stop growing and questioning and developing, are we really living anymore? I don't know. So Anyway, that's my video for today. I wish you the best of luck in your pursuits. The best of luck in being your authentic self as you define it. And we'll sign off here. All right, till next time. Whoop, get the mouse going. Bye. Good luck.